Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be doing a tier list. Unfortunately, my editors have been super busy, so I decided to give them a few days off, which is why I haven't been posting in a while, or I've been posting these type of videos. Hopefully you still enjoy them. Kind of mixed reviews on the last one, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I will try not to mix up the names of the Pokemon. I know a lot of people were very triggered when I called Muck Grimer. I know it mucked up your day, but hopefully I won't make the same mistake. And what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be tier listing the all 151 Kanto Pokemon, first generation Pokemon, and rating them based off their viability in Pokemon Go PvP. I'm going to be taking consideration their viability in Go Battle League, their viability in the Silph Cups to date, their viability in Draft, and in other fun formats. So I am going to have 5 categories where I'm actually going to rate them. And then the last category is like if their CP is too low, obviously they're not going to be competitive because the lowest CP tier is Great League, which is 1500. So for example, Bulbasaur, I believe Bulbasaur only maxes out at 981. So obviously it's not going to be competitive. So now you're going to bother looking at that. And then Ivysaur. Ivysaur has access to Vine Whip, Power Whip, and Sludge Bomb. It's tankier than Venusaur, but has a slightly worse moveset. Generally in formats where Venusaur is banned, Ivysaur is also banned, or they're at the equivalent level, because they're very close to one another in terms of performance. Ivysaur is a slightly worse version of Venusaur, so I'm going to put it at B tier. I think that, I guess I should go over the tiers. S tier is like the very best. I only expect a few Pokemon to make it there. They are the best in what they do. They're not the best what they do. They're the best in the meta, in many metas, or in very broad metas. So for example, like they're one of the top 5 Pokemon in Go Battle League, Great League, or Ultra League, or Master League, or they're very meta in multiple leagues. You probably can already guess which ones are gonna be S tier. It's gonna be very few Pokemon. Venusaur, I do think it is definitively better than Ivysaur, so I'm gonna put up in A tier. I think you could argue that they're in the same tier, but I do think that Venusaur, people would choose Venusaur over Ivysaur, but Ivysaur is a pretty good substitute still. Charmander, obviously too low. Charmeleon is unfortunately not very good. It maxes very close to 1500, but its move pool is pretty bad. Charizard, I'm going to put up in A tier. Charizard is one of the most controversial Pokemon. There's so many people that said that it doesn't belong in A tier. They said they left right away. Some people said they left right away because it was in S tier. Realistically, Charizard has pretty interesting typing, flying and fire. It also has very good moves with Fire Spin, which is a decent move, Blast Burn, which is an amazing move, and Dragon Claw gives it really good coverage, and as well gives it an excellent bait move. So I think it is a very strong Pokemon. It is one of the best Pokemon in Ultra League. It is also very viable in many Silph Arena Cups. It is also a very strong pick in Draft, especially drafts that allow Registeel to be played, and when the number of Registeel counters obviously has to be split amongst many different Pokemon. I think Charizard is very strong. Once you land that Blast Burn or the bait potential, is excellent. So I think A tier makes sense. I'm gonna put Squirtle in the CP too low. I'm gonna put Wartortle in the same category as Charmeleon. It's not very good. Blastoise, I'm gonna put it also in A tier. I do think it is. I want to say it's definitively behind Charizard. You could argue the order on how these play out, but I do think that Charizard is the best of the 3 Kanto starters in terms of its performance. Obviously, Weedle's too low. Metapod is very low. I think they almost have the same CP. It's actually kind of embarrassing. Butterfree is not a very good Pokemon. It has Confusion, Signal Beam, a bunch of other moves, but it's just not very good. Weedle and Kakuna are very similar to Caterpie and Metapod. Beedrill, I'm going to put in B tier. I do think it's definitively better than these ones. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So, And then Pidgey and Pidgeotto are too low CP. Well, actually, maybe Pidgeotto goes to 1,000 CP. Pidgeot. Some people were saying, "Oh, how come you rated Pidgeot higher than Staraptor and some of the other flying birds?" Those other birds are really glassy. Like, Pidgeot is not the tankiest Pokemon, but it has okay stats. And as well, like, it's okay stats reasonable enough that it fulfills its role as a flyer. I don't think it's as good as Ivysaur and Beedrill, but I also don't think it's like as bad as these Pokemon. So I am gonna put it in B tier, but it's really at the lower end of the B tier. Like, it's certainly not in the same side of the B tier as Ivysaur and Beedrill. Rattata, obviously not very good. Raticate, oh man, Raticate is just a trash Pokemon. It just doesn't have good moves, and its typing doesn't really help it that much. Spearow, obviously not good, and then Fearow, it's just not very good. I don't think I've seen everyone use it very effectively. Ekans, obviously CP too low, and then Arbok is pretty bad. It does have access to like Dragon Tail, I think like Sludge Bomb or something like that, but it's not. An Acid as another fast move, I think. It's just not very good. Pikachu, I am only gonna rate like it's obviously TP too low, even though it has access to like Fly, Surf, and a number of different moves. Flying Press, depending on which version you're using. Raichu, I'm only rating the Kanto version. So Raichu, I do think it is in B tier. I think it's like, it's not as good as Ivysaur and Beedrill, but I do think it's better than Pidgeot. It has been meta relevant and it has been not meta relevant. It's been useful in a number of different Silpharina Cups, and I do think that it is a very strong electric type, even though it's very glassy. Has access to Volt Switch. I believe it has Wild Charge as well. Thunder Punch, Brick Break. Like, it was an interesting pick in regionals because of that Brick Break. Did a lot of damage to Bastiodon. Sandshrew, obviously CP is too low. Sandslash. The thing is, like, it would have been B tier if they would have left return as normal, but unfortunately they did not. So it only has nukes. Its typing is not that great. Nidoran female is too low. Nidorina, let's see, Nidorina is CP is too low. It only maxed at 1200. Nidoqueen, oh man, it's kind of like here. It would be a very spicy pick to use in the Great League, but it has had some play in some Silpharina Cups. Its move pool is pretty decent. Poison Jab, Stab Poison Jab, Stab Earthquake, Stab Earth Power, Stone Edge coverage. Is obviously weak to water, weak to ground, but it has like okay bulk to it. Nidoran male and Nidorino also CP too low, 1250. I have seen someone use it and it's very unimpressive. I do think Nidoking is definitively lower than Nidoqueen. That's the reason why I don't think they should be in the same tier. You could argue that Nidoqueen is like high C tier, but I do think she's better than these Pokemon. Clefairy is obviously CP2. Clefable is definitely B tier. It's probably like somewhere like here, or maybe even to be honest higher, because it's also usable in Ultra League. Is a very strong charmer in Great League as well. So I do think that's somewhere like that. And then obviously Vulpix is down here. Ninetales, I think like Ninetales is like right here. Maybe here. It's kind of hard to say. Like, it has Fire Spin, Psyshock, Solar Beam, Legacy, Flamethrower, Overheat. It has like very good moves as a fire type with some pretty good coverage. I think it's pretty decent. And that I'm not counting the Alolan version. So obviously Jigglypuff is too below. Wigglytuff, I'm gonna put it like right here. I guess I can order these afterwards. I think Wigglytuff has been meta relevant in many cups. It is a pretty good charmer. It does wall the ghost types in Go Battle League. It is like very like effective against the ghost type because of its normal typing. Zubat, obviously not good. Golbat, I'm gonna put it here. Golbat is a very good anti-flyer, or a good anti-grass, I should say. It like basically walls like Meganium. It definitely has some play in Go Battle League. It's been really good in many different cups because of its poison and flying typing. Its wing attack and poison fang makes it quite spammy. Shadow Ball gives it a really nice nuke. It gives it really great coverage. It has okay stats, not the greatest, but it's been really useful in many different cups. And I definitely can see, I saw like Valarash like 2 shield win against an Altaria, which there's not very many Pokemon that can reliably 2 shield win against an Altaria. So that just shows you the spammiest of the Poison Fangs and its ability to overcome that matchup. Oddish, obviously, going to be the odd Pokemon out. Gloom. Gloom's okay. I think it's like high C tier. It's not quite B tier in these categories. Vileplume is definitely the bottom of C tier. Parasect and Parasect. And Parasect is pretty bad. Venonat, obviously CP too low. Venomoth. Some people, if you don't do Silpharina, you're going to disagree with me. But I think it's like somewhere like here. Confusion, Poison Fang, really good combination. Is able to go toe-to-toe with Azumarill. The Confusion's really nice against fighters and fellow poison types. And then has Psychic, which obviously got, which is a good move. It got kind of hurt when the Silverwind nerf happened, but I think it's still a strong Pokemon. It might be like, if you don't do Sylph, you might say that it's definitively a C tier, but I think it's B tier. Diglett, Dugtrio, man, Dugtrio, has Mudshot, something, I don't know. I guess like I should just had 1 tier between the C and D, because like these are all just pretty bad Pokemon. Persian, not very good. Golduck, it's interesting. It's not quite, it has interesting moves. Confusion, Cross Chop, Bubble Beam, I think it's like Hydro Pump, but not quite good enough. Its also stats are not that promising. Mankey there. Primate, man. So counter, always good. Counter is the best fast move in the game, arguably. Cross Chop, Close Combat, Cross Chop's Legacy, Night Slash gives it really nice coverage. Man, it might be, I might demote it, but I think B tier. Growlithe, Arcanine, I'm gonna put in C tier, even though it has some play in Premier. It's very spicy in Premier, and I haven't seen too many successful teams or too many repeatable runs with Arcanine, though it has really interesting movesets: Snarl, Wild Charge, Crunch, Flamethrower, Bulldoze's Legacy. It's pretty interesting. Poliwag, Poliwhirl, all too low, and then I'm gonna put Poliwrath in A tier. It is good in many Silpharina cups. It's good in draft. It's excellent in Ultra League. Maybe a little bit less because of Cresselia, but I think it's still really viable. We saw a lot of really strong Poliwrath play at the end of Season 2 of Ultra League. I think it's very strong. Abra, obviously too low. Kadabra's too low. Alakazam, maybe a little bit better with counter, but still not that great. Machop, Machoke, Machamp, I'm going to put it up here. Machamp is very good in Premier. Has some play in Masters. Has some play in Ultra League. Is very good in Draft. Has been used in many different Silpharina Cups. Would be a very spicy pick in with Shadow Machamp as well. It's able to potentially win out against Altaria running straight Rock Slide. So I think it's a very strong pick. I think you definitely could go. You could play all these tournaments without running a single Machamp, but I do think it is viable to run, and its viability across a number of different formats, I think warrants it in A tier, maybe lower end A tier. It's not dominant in any particular format, but it's definitely really usable. Cross chop, counter, close combat, rock slide. Rock slide's an excellent coverage move. I think it's pretty warranted. I'm gonna put these out in too low. Victory Bell, I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's been very interesting to use. Shadow Victory Bell is also one of the most oppressive Pokemon in Go Battle League Ultra League, Go Battle League Great League, I should say. I think it's definitely a solid B tier. I think it might be actually even higher than many of these Pokemon. Tentacruel, I think is a B tier Pokemon for sure. It walls Azumarill. It's been useful in a lot of different cups. Just walling one of the most arguably the most meta relevant Pokemon, and as well can go toe to toe with Registeel, despite Registeel double resisting the poison jabs. Because of its typing, it does resist Focus Blast and Flash Cannon, and has that Hydro Pump nuke, Acid Spray bait, Sludge Wave if you want double nukes. I think it's a very, very solid Pokemon. I think really useful. Geodude and Graveler, obviously. I got to adjust the sizing of this shortly, but that's okay. Let's see. I'm gonna zoom out. There you go. Golem. I think it's C tier. It's not very good. Ponyta Rapidash. Rapidash has interesting moves. I think it has like Drill Run. Does it have Fire Spin? I'm pretty sure it's Fire Spin. Okay. And then Slowpoke, obviously too low. Slowbro, I'm going to put in C tier. It's on the higher end, C tier for sure. Magnemite, I'm going to put into C tier. It definitely can be used, but it's obviously outclassed by Magneton. I'm going to put in B tier. A little bit controversial, but I think there's definitely justification for it. It's really interesting typing. Has it's very spammy. Yeah, I think B tier makes sense. These are obviously too low. The trio is awful. Seal is too low. I think Dugong is an A tier. It is it's like one of the best Pokemon in Great League. I think it's justification up here, even though it's only used in Great League and is often banned in Silpharina Cups. Just shows you how powerful it is. Grimer, I'm gonna put CP2 low, even though some people do use it. Muck, this is only regular Muck, and I'm not talking about Grimer. Don't worry, I'm not gonna call it a Grimer. So Grimer, I'm joking. Muck, I'm gonna put in C tier. This is not including a Alolan Muck. It has interesting moves, but hasn't seen like a ton of play. Shelter, and then Cloyster. You could argue B tier because it's been useful in some Silpharina Cups. It's a good replacement for Dugong, but it's like the difference between Dugong and Cloyster is pretty dramatic. Ghastly, I'm gonna put CP2 low. I'm going to evaluate Haunter and Gengar separately because obviously they're two different Pokemon. So I'm going to put... I don't think, like, individually, like, Haunter is probably... Man, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Man. I don't want to put them both in A tier. I think I have to. Man. Okay. I think I have to. And then I'm going to put Gengar higher than Haunter, even though it hasn't proven itself. Its ability to play in Ultra and Masters, plus its very similar performance in Great League, puts it up in A tier. Some people might disagree with this, but I think that's pretty fair. Onyx, obviously not very good. Drowsy, too low. I guess Onyx is actually too low as well. Hypno, I'm going to put up in A tier. Hypno is one of the most flexible Pokemon. Its Shadow variant is amazing too. I think it's one of the most flexible Pokemon in all of Great League. It's amazing in draft. I think it's a very strong pick. Krabby, obviously too low. Kingler is trash. Voltorb. Okay, I have to expand this list again. Electrode. It's okay. C tier. Execute. Some people will use it. I'm going to put in CP too low. Executor. I'm going to put it in B tier. It's been really useful in a lot of Silpharina Cups. Cubone. Marowak. Obviously not the Alolan version. Not very good. Hitmonlee's total trash. Hitmonchan, I'm going to B tier. Especially with the Shadow version. It's really interesting. Its moveset, again, really interesting as well. Lickitung. Sure, I'll put it in C tier. Yeah, I'll put it in C tier. It's very high in the C tier, though. Coughing, Wheezing, obviously trash. Rhyhorn, I'm going to put CP too low, even though some people want to put in S tier. Rhydon is C tier. Chansey is D tier. Tangela is C tier. Kangaskhan is C tier. Horsey's there. Seadra, we'll put in C tier as well. I'm gonna have to zoom out again. Oh man, I should have made this list wider. That's okay. Goldeen, and then I think Seeking, especially with Triple Legacy, definitely deserves a B tier list. Staryu, Starmie is total trash. Mr. Mime is trash. Well, it's okay. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Scyther, I'm gonna put in C tier as well. Jinx, not very good. Electabuzz, and also not very good. Magmar, also not very good. Pinsir, not very good. Tauros, definitely a D tier. Magikarp, too low. Gyarados. Ooh, this one's tricky. Obviously has almost no play in Great League, has no play in Sylph, has no play in Great League Draft, but it's pretty useful in Ultra League. It's also very useful in Premier. Oh, this is so controversial. Okay, all right. And then Lapras is obviously going to be our first S tier. Lapras is amazing. Like, it's very good in Great League. It's amazing in Ultra. Has play some, like, very spicy play in Premier. I think it's definitely, and it's very good in Draft, very good in Silpharina. Yeah, a number of different Silpharina tournaments. Vaporeon, I'm going to put it into, I'm going to put it into B tier. I do think it's better than these other evolutions, definitively. Porygon, I'm going to put it into D tier. Almanite, Almastar, I'm going to put this in C tier. Kabuto, Kabutops sucks. Aerodactyl sucks. Snorlax, this is not including Munchlax. I think it deserves a place in S tier, even without Munchlax. It's good in Masters. Its Shadow variant is very good in Masters. It's good in Premier. It's the safest switch in all of Premier. It's good in Ultra League. Without Munchlax, I would say Snorlax definitely has some play too. It arguably has a better moveset than Munchlax in Great League. It's just slightly less bulkier. Articuno, I'm going to put it into B tier. It's one of the most meta-relevant Pokemon in... it was one of the most relevant Pokemon in Season 1. It was very good in Season 2. Maybe a little bit less good. You could argue it's B tier because it hasn't been applicable in any other formats. Zapdos, I'm going to put in the same tier as Articuno. It's not as dominant in Ultra. It's not as good as in Ultra as in Articuno is. It's also good in Master League Draft. It's good in Great League. Its Shadow variant is also very strong. Moltres, I'm going to put into C tier. I think it's definitively worse than the other two birds. Dratini, obviously right here. Dragonair, I'm going to put into lower B tier. Dragonite, I'm going to put into A tier. Oh, man. Dragonite's top 2 Pokemon in Premier. It's usable in Masters, especially with the rise of Kyogre and Groudon. Oh, man. And it's spicy in Draft. Oh, man. If you included Dragonair and Dragonite together, I would say S tier for sure. The thing is that it's top 2 in a league, even if it's a temporary league, and then probably top 10 in Masters. I don't know if any of these other Pokemon can claim... I'm going to put an S tier. Controversial. I'm going to put Mewtwo in S tier. It's the safest switch in Master League. Mew, I'm going to put it in S tier as well. It's very controversial, but Mew is one of the most unpredictable Pokemon in Draft. It's one of the most unpredictable Pokemon to deal with in Great League. It's unpredictable in Ultra League. It doesn't have that much play in Masters, mostly because the Pokemon have such extraordinary stats, but I could definitely see someone using it. So, okay, let me sort this. I think I'm pretty happy with this list. You could argue Mewtwo's ahead of Dragonite because it's better in Masters, and Masters is a more prominent league. But you can't use Mewtwo in any other league. But you can use Shadow Dragonite. You can use Dragonite in like some Silph Arena formats. I've never seen Mewtwo used in Silph Arena. A tier. Okay, let me sort A tier. This is kind of tough, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. My heart says something like man, Gyarados is good in multiple leagues. That's the thing, right? We're comparing multiple versus depth. Yeah, okay, I'll sort it like that. Okay. The S and A tier are sorted. B tier I'm not going to sort. That's way too difficult. But yeah, this is my tier list for Kanto Pokemon. Let me know down in the comment section below which ones do you agree with, which ones do you not agree with. Most people just tell me what I don't agree with and point out which Pokemon I mispronounced the name. But I'm... Okay, so what I think are the hot takes in here. So I think Mew and Dragonite are hot takes. Especially without Premier, I don't think you put Dragonite up here. And then I think in A tier, Machamp and Zapdos. And I'm sure somebody's going to have gripes with one of the starters. And then but I'm happy with the rest, to be honest. B tier, there's definitely a lot of really iffy ones. If you don't do Silph Arena, there's a number of ones that like you would never think of, like Dragonair, for example, or Vaporeon. Like if someone used Vaporeon in Great League, you'd be laughing at them, right? Like, but it's very good. It's same with the Executor or Venomoth or Nidoqueen, right? I'm thinking about multiple formats. I don't know if like any of these Pokemon definitely warranted a move up. These are all like pretty bad Pokemon. Some people might argue Arcanine has like more meta relevance than any of these ones, which you could definitely argue that. Cloyster might be in B tier. I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with this list. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And if you want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be posting some more battle videos to help you finish Season 2 strong, and also posting some of the championship runs as they relate to Silpharina. So anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.